Just two things. One, all discipline takes place in the classroom. The more you send the student out to your classroom, the less control you appear to have to your students. And that is really worth repeating. Please take care of as much discipline in the classroom as you can. In all reality, when you send a student out, that means I can't handle this, and I had to give it to someone else. So when you outsource your discipline, you have no idea whether that behavior is going to change or not, because you're not in control of that, you're not making decisions about it, and you're not conversing with the student. The other thing is, as Sharon just mentioned, when you scream and yell at students, you are showing a lack of control. And if you are the role model, then you're certainly not being a good one, because teachers, the more calm you remain in any situation, the more it looks like you're in charge. So take a couple of deep breaths, which you can do, noticing you, and approach every situation with calmness. So what happens when you're dealing with defiant students? Defiant students are pretty unique people. Okay, they defy they scream and yell, they argue, and so we've come up with this, what we call, some people call it being in the computer mode, some people call it the one-word discipline program, some call it the broken record, and it goes something like this. Now I'm going to take this out of the school context for a minute. When I was doing counseling, this situation really occurred with a young girl that I was seeing with her mother. So here's how a possible scenario can go. The daughter and the mother are at home, and the daughter wants to go out, she's middle school age, and she says, "Ma, I'm going out." And the mother goes, "Wait a minute, before you go out, tell me where you're going." "Oh, I'm just going out." "Well, who are you going out with?" "I'm going out with Mary." "Mary? You're going out with Mary? Mary, the one with the purple hair and all of the iron in her face and her ears and like things hanging from her ears and combat boots and purple tattoos? That Mary?" "Yeah, Mom, I'm going out with Mary." "I don't think so. Just come back here for a moment." Now here's where the defiance starts in. "Well, what's going on? What is this, the FBI? Don't you trust me?" And the mother says, I trust you. I don't trust Mary, and you're not going out." "Well, didn't you choose your friends when you were my age?" "You know, yeah, I chose friends, but they didn't look like her, and she's the one that smokes cigarettes, and I just don't like that girl." Well, what's this all about? You know, you do this to me all the time. It's not fair. You know, what are we talking about? I'm talking about you and your friend, and that goes on and on and on, okay? Now it really starts to escalate. "Well, I'm not listening to you, okay? And I'm going." And so she goes to go out, and the mother stands in front of her. Then a shoving match occurred, okay? So how do you deal with something like that? In the classroom, it's always the student says, "You know, I have to go see my guidance counselor." "Well, what do you have to see your guidance?" "Well, it's very important. My parents told me to see him." "Well, you can't see your guidance." So it's like the continuous kind of thing back and forth. All right, so let's give a second scenario with Mary and her mother to see how you could change that behaviorally. All right, so the same situation. "Mom, I'm going out." "Who are you going out with?" "I'm going out with Mary." "Mary? I don't think so. You're not going out with Mary." And then the daughter starts. "Well, what is this, the FBI?" Now here's the word you use. There are a number of words you could use. Regardless, that's the word. Regardless whether I trust you or not, you are not going out. "Well, what's the matter? Didn't you choose your friends when you were my age?" "Regardless of what I did when I was your age, you are not going out with Mary." "Well, what's the matter? Don't you trust me? You do this all the time to me." "Regardless of what I do to you all the time, you are not going out." "I can't stand that word, regardless." "Nevertheless, you are not going out." Do you see what I did? Okay, so you box her in a little bit, because in the first scenario, let me ask you, who's in charge in the first scenario? The child, right. The child, because she's taking the mother for a ride. She's changing the subject on her mother. It's trust, FBI, friends, and it goes on and on and on. And the mother is just following along, okay? Same thing in the classroom. "I got to go see the guidance counselor. I got to see the nurse. I feel sick," and this and that, and it keeps going on. So if you put up that wall, okay, it stops it. In the second scenario, who's in charge? The mother, okay? So she doesn't. She keeps going back to that wall. You can't do this, you can't do this. Now you can use any word you want. So if you don't want to say nevertheless or regardless, you can say, be that as it may, you are still not going out. You got the idea?